Alright, so here's a fanfiction review because I've decided I finally want to do a fanfiction centered around a non-crossover one. I think I've done enough for a little while, so I wanted to do a fanfiction that was not only in, one universe, just one single volume, but actually a fanfiction I truly enjoy. It's a fanfiction. Well, actually, no. I've done one universe stories. I remember doing Hey Rhonda, which is a Hey Arnold fanfiction, but it was called Oh Rhonda by Orange Ratchet, and that was really good. But I decided to do a fanfiction review of this story because I really enjoyed it. It's a romance fanfiction called Bad Girls with Big Hearts. It's an Ed, Edd n Eddy fanfiction that is probably one of the better Marie Double D stories, and it's a lot of fun. It does play with a lot of your tropes of bad girl with it does actually go in the title, Bad Girls with Big Hearts. Now it's actually kind of funny because the fanfiction writer, the writer had said that because I had seen this fanfiction before, but then it got rebooted because the author wanted to be a medical engineer. I don't. If you're wondering how I know that, it's literally in the author's note right at the beginning of the story. So the author said that they wanted to go out and be a medical engineer, and from there it kind of spread into this. The fans wanted, hey, can we get this fanfiction back? And we did. Now, much like what I said about Miraculous Night, this fanfiction is still in development. In fact, it only got I think it was updated early August of this month. And it's been out since March. There's about 11 chapters, as of this recording, that is, of this story. It's very well done. It takes place, I think, early high school. I think it's still Ed, Edd n Eddy in junior high, and they are at this Valentine. The main center is this. It's February, meaning it's Valentine's Day, and what's basically going on is that. This festival's going on, this fair, and the Eds and Cankers are now finally starting to get together. How this starts is between, of course, Double D and Marie, who actually, I love how their interactions are written. I love how it's not like Marie's just breaking down and crying like some of the fanfiction writers have. Again, I don't want to bash any writing, but I've seen it as and I've talked about this in my shipping video, where I kind of talk about one of the problems is that I think a lot of people seem to think that, just because you're a strong independent character means that you have a dark soft side, and that doesn't, that's true for most cases, but that means it's the only case, so Marie can't be this super strong badass. In here, it's written that she is the super strong badass, but she can still be a little vulnerable at times. And the big thing with her in this story is that Marie is more afraid of herself more than anything else, because she's kind of left this impression on Double D and the Eds in general and everyone around her is that she's a monster, more or less. And she doesn't want to have that kind of stigma around her anymore. She doesn't want to be that kind of person anymore. But it's not easy for her. And, again, it does feel like, there is some great dialogue in here between the Eds and the other Cankers. While this is a Marie Double D-centric fanfiction, the main crux of the other crux of this story is that it focuses on Eddie and Ed's relationship with Lee and May, which is also really well done. I especially like Lee and Eddie hanging out, because they're both collectively assholes, and they're both pretty bad for each other, but the only people who can tolerate them is really each other. So that's kind of it, is that they've kind of come to the understanding that they're both really the most nastiest pieces of shit in Peach Creek, but the only people who can stand them is each other, and they both love and hate that. Whereas Marie and Double D get very, it's not like, oh, I love you now. It's more like it's kind of a growing affection between Marie and Double D, and it's starting to, and Marie is starting to kind of let her guard down around him, but she's having trouble doing that because she's always had this persona of, I'm the big badass, everyone needs to be afraid of me, and that's kind of hard for her. Double D also in here is very scared, and I actually like the beginning of this chapter of how this kind of starts out as they're trying to watch, I think it's either wrestling or a monster truck rally, but the TV goes out, so Marie gets this bright idea to literally break into Double D's house and ask him for help. to fix their TV, and that's how this whole thing starts. It's basically that that moment right there where she more or less says, "Yeah, I've done this before," and Double D's like, "What the fuck?" Oh man. Again, major kudos to the author who I forgot. Oh my god, it's 5 minutes into the video. I haven't said the author's name. Alabaster Jones, which sounds like the character from a Star. Like he sounds like Alabaster Jones. I know that's probably not the author's name, the fanfiction author's name. That just sounds like a villain you'd see on like Starsky and Hutch. That's kind of what it sounds like. But anyway. So, but what Alabaster Jones does in this story is really, he really, I don't know if it's a man or woman, but the author really knows how to write these characters and write them in these new situations and make it still sound like them. When, Double D and Marie's first date, when Eddie and Lee are talking, there's some great moments in here. But in terms of character interaction. And of course we still have all the other people in Peach Creek who are like, oh my god, the Eds and Cankers are finally dating. What the fuck do we do now? They're more like, Naz thinks it's really cool, but on the other hand, Kevin's like, the fuck do we do now? Because if I remember right, there's this moment where he has this revelation of, oh shit, now the Eds have muscle, what do we do now? Now, the other thing with the original story was that it was a lot longer, and but it's recently got rebooted, like I said. So in the new story, in the new chapters, it's about 11 chapters long, and it's still a lot of fun. There's some great humor in here. There is just some great moments through and through with this fanfiction. I think, the romance between Double D and Marie is very well thought out, and it's, like I said, it's not instant. It's more of a growing attraction between the two, especially Double D, because as we all know, Marie was a little forceful with her, approaches. So she understands that I kind of traumatized poor Double D, so I need to be a little more cautious here. So that's kind of where that's how it kind of plays out, is that Marie has to make herself a little more reserved, a little more calmer, and try to think things through the situation. Again, I think it's one of the best, even though, it's being still worked on, I think it's one of the best Double D and Marie fanfictions, if not for both the Eds and the Cankers as well, out there. I think it's a very well-written story. As always with these fanfiction reviews, I will leave a link below for you guys to go check out the fanfiction. You guys can go check it out, go read it, go review it, do all the great things on fanfiction. Again, I think this is a lot of fun if you really if you really are a diehard Double D and Marie shipper like I am, then chances are you're probably going to really, 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 really like this fanfiction. More than likely, you're going to like this fanfiction, and that's really all I can say. But anyway, once again, like I said, I will leave a link below for you guys to read the fanfiction for yourselves, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.